Welcome to Achamore Gardens on the sunny Isle of Gigha. Bear with me a minute. Because what I want to do is introduce you to one or two beautiful plants here in the garden. Funnily enough, I've got an Butylon vitifolium. Now the fantastic thing with this plant is it is not fully hardy and can only be grown in this beautiful Gulf Stream area. Or if you've got that lovely sunny south-facing spot, free draining soil, not much nutrients in it, you're going to get away with it. And this thing gets up to so big. I don't know if the camera can actually pan up there, but it'll get so big. Fantastic thing with this is it's Chilean. Now there's a unique thing about this plant here, and a lot of the plants that we've got here in Achamore is that Chilean influence. I want to show you another one in a bit, but let me just talk about that. Vitifolium. That's referring, viticulture, that's referring to the vine. The vine, grapes. And that looks like a grape leaf. Isn't nature wonderful? On this Butylon vitifolium, and in this case it's Vitifolium album, it's white. Album means white. Do you remember Albus Dumbledore in Lord of the Rings, I was going to say. Albus Dumbledore in Harry Potter. Albus white, but anyhow. So, when the flower comes on, look at that, you've got those lovely little buds. At the beginning stage you get that beautiful little tight flowering buds, and in this case you can see it's on the long stem. There's 4 buds there, and you can see they're just about ready to start to unfurl. And then when that magical glory bit unfurls, you get, we're looking for a good one now, you get the beautiful petals, sepals, then you get the anthers and the stamens in there. And that's the one thing that we don't do enough of. We look at the whole thing as a whole, but we don't look at that as an individual flower and the grace and beauty of that within it. Then as this starts to fade and die off, that'll start fading and dying off. And then the old flowering seed head is there. And in there will be the seed that will produce plants for the new generation. And that's what most of the plants in our gardens are doing at the moment. The next plant I wanted to show you is from the same continent, and it's this little wee thing here. It's the Chilean lantern tree, Crinodendron hookerianum. Now the fantastic thing with this tree is it will grow in dense shade. It will grow in hardy gardens and gardens that do not need this fantastic microclimate. And here we are, what are we in? June, beginning of June, not looking too dissimilar. And look at those bell-like, lantern-like flowers. Now, if we get a chance, we're going to have a look underneath them, because that's the beauty of nature. It means you have got to do this to get and see the flowers. And it makes you do the work for you. The other thing I want you to see on this one is the bark on these, typical of a lot of the Chilean trees. The little white fleck markings that you see on there are called lenticels, and believe it or not, it's the breathing part of the bark. All trees, if not most all trees, I'm willing to stand corrected, all have a lenticel, all have a bark thing, the breathing point. And in the case of a lot of these Chilean ones, that's what you're seeing in there. But look at that, it's evergreen. It gets up to about 25, 30 feet high, sometimes taller, sometimes less, depends where you're growing it. Most soils, tolerant to most soils, and is ideal in even the smallest of gardens. You must have one of these. If it gets too big, tough luck, take it out and put something else in. But to have one of these is fantastic. The flower. Right, we're going to actually have a look at the flower. I'm going to pick it off. There's the lantern, and it's brilliant. At this point you can look at it, but the only one real way in which to get in and have a look at it is to cut it open. So we'll get a knife to dissect it and actually have a look and see what is inside. The birds and the bees do it all the time, so why not us? So with the knife we'll just cut it open and have a look inside. And there you go, inside, beautiful colour. The female there, you've got all the males clustered around her. As you come down the green, you've got that lovely red which matches here, and then there's the yellow down there as well with the ovaries all inside there. That is just so yummy I could eat it. We're going to jump continents now. We've been to Chile, we are now going to South Africa, because why not? Look! And you know what, for years I've been trying to grow this plant on Dartmoor and not get away with it, getting it through the winter. But at last come up to Gigha here, and we've actually got sub-shrubs which are getting lovely and woody. And you can see the woody bits down there. He's got a bit on the leggy side, this one, but look at that sumptuous daisy. Look at that filigree foliage, and you can see the dusty bits in there. The young flowers coming on, ready to burst out. And as a young plant growing in, oh, it's just a delight to have. Now then, Unfortunately, you've only seen 3 of many plants here at Achamore Gardens. Gonna let you go for a wander around the gardens, and you can see bananas, you can see spiky things, you can see lots of other things. I'll leave that up to you. Bye for now.